just like hairdressers, they're always like afraid to go in. I always have to like no, do it, because like it may look like really thin and stringy.
I would just show them the most extreme haircut and be like, do this, and then they like cut your hair like a trim, and you're like, okay.
No, but then I'll also like with like long hair, you have to like be careful because sometimes you'll be like, oh, this, and then they do too much. Like I have had too much done to my hair before, but it always grows out.
Mm-hmm.
I've had too much happen, but like very rarely, and it always grows out well. Or it used to. Now I feel like it's not. I don't know what's going on with it.
I wonder how hard it is. Like, what kind of money are these hairdressers making? Maybe I can cut hair.
I know some hairdressers making over 100K. Yeah,
it's not bad.
It's not bad.
I could take days off.
I was just thinking. I was like, maybe I should go to beauty school.
It'd be kind of fun.
It'd be kind of fun.
Like it's like you get to talk, test out your bits.
Test out my bits.
Test out your bits.
Don't laugh, please. I'm cutting your hair.
Oh yeah, true.
They can laugh. All right, welcome to Checker Podski. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Caitlin.
Tuned in, tapped in.
And this is my sister Jess.
On the Podski. Like, what camera do I look at?
Which camera does she look at?
The technology takeover.
Hi, it's chilly here in Chicago. To all our international
It's the other half of Chicago winter.
Yeah, exactly.
The other season.
God, it was so nice for a long time. It's supposed to warm up. It's Christmas time. It's like Christmas is like 4 days away. This will probably come out not on Christmas.
You can listen to this when it's not Christmas.
It's not Christmas heavy, but I will say that I was listening last night to that Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart song.
Oh, yeah.
And, a few things, but the biggest thing I took away that he's like, this year to save me from tears, I'll give it to somebody special. And I'm like, did you not do that last year? Because
this year to save me from tears,
I'll give it to somebody special.
Give it to somebody special.
Like, shouldn't he always be giving it to somebody special?
Well, last year he got bamboozled.
Yeah, but I assume last year he thought that person was special.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Bamboozled again and be singing about the same
That's what I'm saying.
Year.
I was like, it's a cycle with you, friend.
You can never get out of it.
You can give it.
Well, who's he going to give it to? Somebody not special?
Or maybe take a year off from giving it away.
I would say this year I'm going to give it to my dog.
Yeah, I would say
safekeeping.
No, I would say like give it to somebody. Don't give it away. Just keep it.
Just keep it. Tend to it.
Tend to it. Hang out with your family. Maybe like take a year off from dating or something. I don't know.
But if you're trying to give your love out, I would say a dog's pretty good. Reliable.
Yeah, give it out to
give him
Stanley.
Yep. Or just give it to Stanley. Can send him good vibes.
Good vibes to Stanley.
Little baby border collie.
We love you so much.
Very nice.
Anything else Christmassy? We're going to go back home.
Christmas things?
Yeah, or like...
Let's see.
Home Alone's a great movie. We love that. Home Alone 2, great movie. Christmas movies just slap. It's hard to make a Christmas movie, though. It's hard to like make a Christmas song, too. It like really like stands the test of time.
Oh, did you see something? There was like something about, I guess... Again, this is not a political podcast. We don't fact check things. It's just people yapping and nonsense. So if you're like getting into cult following level at this point and you're like, these people are speaking the truth, like just Google it. I don't even know if you can Google at this point.
Google's awful.
Because the Google AI, I guess, even references Reddit. It references the Onion articles, which are satirical, like comedy things. Just anything that's written online, it'll reference. So there's like things where it's like, how many rocks can you eat in a day? And said you can eat up to 8 rocks, and it's
don't eat any rocks.
And then I think people that like are like perpetuating the AI stuff, which fine, I guess, but obviously it doesn't have that discernment built into it yet of like knowing what's a quality thing to grip from. Which even the stuff that it's gripping from is technically stealing. I mean, you're taking away dollars from the place that wrote the
and it's also
content
just
anyway.
like not good at Googling. Google just like is pointless to do.
Google, arguably the worst Googler is Google.
Yeah, it is. I feel like it used to be better. I don't know.
It's funny because it's like, oh, Google it, and it's like, oh, like, Google's not even like what it. Google.
Shout out to
Google
Gmail,
used
though.
to mean search. You know,
to Google
search something.
Now
like
to Google is going to be like, I don't know, just throw garbage everywhere.
Where can you buy
I throw garbage everywhere, like Danny DeVito. I'm a garbage man. That's Google now because it's just garbage. You don't listen to
But
anything.
Gmail saved your phone this week.
Gmail saved my notes.
Notes. Well, that's still better than
So,
nothing.
thank you,
Apple was the one
Gmail.
you were paying for. So
Apple was the one I was paying for. Don't trust iCloud. Back all your stuff up or make sure it's actually backed up on iCloud. My phone just stopped working and it's been a nightmare. So, yep. And please don't tell me, oh, like take it to this store, take it to that store. They've all said it's broken. So people tend to say that. I don't know. I said that I posted it online because I was like, I want people to know this so that they can like check their iCloud to make sure everything's actually there. Because I thought everything was going to iCloud and it wasn't. And guys will be like, take it to a phone repair shop. Take it to this place. I'm like, I don't know if they just think I'm an idiot or do I have to like explain every step of what happened? But I'm like, I already did that, honey. Like,
have you tried repairing it, Caitlin?
have you tried taking it to a place that repairs things? Yes, I have. Don't take it to Apple because they're just trying to sell you stuff. Too late. Already bought a new thing. So that's.
I don't know. How much do people like? You're like, I don't care. I'll buy. You're like, at this point, I'll buy whatever it takes to get my stuff
I mean,
back.
now I'm going to have to spend more money to even try to do data recovery and drop off my phone there and see if they can get my voice memos because I've got 10 years of stand-up on there that is lost. So
She doesn't remember any of her jokes.
I don't remember any of my jokes.
No memory.
No memory
Wiped.
up here. Wiped.
Gone.
I just want to
It's
have
almost
it.
freeing in some ways, though, wouldn't you say?
It's a little, I guess, freeing, but my notes I would be really sad to lose because I have stuff written from, I'm not saying everything in my notes is like great, but I was like, I have stuff like written about, you know, from like 10 years ago. And then my photos, I'd be really sad to lose those. The messages, it sucks because I do feel like I will reference his messages, especially like between Jess and I. I'll like look up something like, didn't we say something or did she like send me that or whatever? So all that's gone. But I guess messages don't matter as much, but it still sucked to lose all of them.
It's almost like millennials have even less to live for when they lose their data.
Yeah. Like without our data,
We don't
what
want
are we
that.
living for? Honestly,
Don't have children.
And it sucks too
Don't
because I know
own
this means
things.
that like other companies have my data, but it was kind of nice because like photos and videos that I lost, since I put them on the Instagram story, I was able to find them again.
Right. Yeah, I see
So
what you're
like
saying, yeah.
it's weird because like I know like it's like, well, you don't want everyone to have your data and stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if more people have my data than when I lose it all.
Give them all your family photos.
Give them all my family. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying give everyone your family photos.
This way you can't lose them.
This is why you can't lose them.
But it did make me think about when you said you lost all that stuff. I know you didn't lose the photos, but did photos would...
I lost photos. I just don't know which ones.
Yeah. Okay. But like basically, you know, when somebody talks about, oh, if my house is on fire, this would be a thing in the past. So like if you're super young, you probably wouldn't maybe get, I don't know. I'm sure your parents would have talked about like, I'm going to get the photos out of the house. Like I'll save the family like photo albums if something was on fire, right? Because it's those like memories that are nice to like have. So it like makes me think of like, okay, so in a fire situation, what people typically did, at least with physical objects, was
Yes.
save the photos.
Save the photos. Because
Wouldn't-
you can't replace them.
Obviously, our society wouldn't pay for this, but I think in a more just society, there would be like a firefighter, but like a IT firefighter, you
Yeah,
know?
that'd be nice.
It's like an IT person that works for the community and
Yeah.
they like help you with IT things. This would also help, like, you know, the cat stuck in a tree thing and the firefighter, you're like, oh, it's so cute. It saved a little cat that was up in the tree. A firefighter does this, yes? It'd be equivalent to like a boomer being like, I don't know how to like get logged into my phone. Like, it'd be like, oh, look how cute. Like the IT fighter helped to get this old lady on the
And you see
internet.
they travel
You know
around.
what I mean? So
Yeah,
that they
yeah.
would help them actually be connected.
Yeah.
And it's very wholesome. It's actually very cute.
It is very wholesome.
And like then it
And
like,
now it's like not an option
and
not
like
to
the
have
cute thing about
technology.
it too is like you get to be like a hero, but like you're not like, you don't have to be like, and you know, no one really hates firefighters. That's
No one
right.
hates firefighters. I mean,
So, but like you wouldn't have to be like built or anything. You just have
Yeah.
to be like someone that's good with IT and stuff. And then you'd go and like help people
sounds great. I'd pay for this.
with technology problems.
We
Because
have-
technology is so much about how you are integrated in the world right now. It would
It
make
is.
sense that
I didn't have
in
my
my
phone for like 4
in
hours. It was a
my
nightmare.
world, there would be an IT fighter.
Yeah.
That, you know, when your phone wakes up and you're like,
Yeah.
you call like the, you know, whatever.
And I would also
number,
have therapy police.
111, and then they come in and they're like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
All right, your phone's broken.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's all right. We're gonna get you. We're gonna get the phone back down from the tree.
There would be a lot, though.
We're gonna get the phone back down from the tree, Caitlin.
Yeah, there would be a lot, though. You think?
A lot of those. I mean, we have a lot of money. We use a lot of it for bad stuff. So
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Yeah.
Also, like my
Or
society,
you could have it where you were set up at. My thought
profits
is,
are different, you know?
because I think they're gonna try to get rid of like libraries because they're not like profitable, which is like the whole point of a library. But it could be. I know like some libraries set up a like basically like a monthly or whatever bi-weekly time where you can bring stuff in to get fixed. And all these guys come in, like one guy is like a tech guy, one guy's like a woodworker, one guy's can help fix your toaster, he knows appliances, whatever. So you bring in stuff that's broken, and rather than get rid of it, someone fixes it for you or helps you fix it, which I think is great. And then it would be good to have maybe at the library having some IT person.
Yeah, that helps fix things too. Yeah,
so that you can
troubleshoot things.
Yeah, and just be like, okay. Because like driving them around might be where you get like the money. It's expensive, but if somebody's like, "Well, I'm old, I have nothing else to do, and I like just need my computer to work, and I can't find my photos," bring everything in.
Yeah.
To me, and
that would be another way of doing it too.
Yeah.
Is like basically like office hours for IT people.
Because you need to be connected. Like
that's what I'm saying.
Like people think. I mean, I get if you're
and
like,
you think like, oh, I lost all my photos, or maybe they didn't, and like. You think, oh, well, whatever, like that's just move on. But like that's a big loss for somebody.
Yeah.
So to like be able to restore that would be a hero moment to me. Saving a cat out of a tree.
Yeah.
Right?
And have enough people too where it's like, okay, every month I have a appointment with you, Doris, and you have to come in and we're going to back up your photos on this hard drive.
Yeah.
If you don't know, I don't know how to do that. That's okay. Just bring all these things in. I'm gonna label them or give you like little color coded things. All the blue stuff you have to bring it in, and I'm gonna
basically more community based type things. Yeah,
stuff like that would help. Yeah,
just because we are more tech, that stuff has value. But again, this would be a world where you don't have to just pay to get this stuff fixed.
Right.
It's sort of like a world where people help each other, and there's resources.
Right, and I don't want to come in to the Apple like. I got like this new phone, and on it they have like this thing that's like 3D video or something like that. They're like, the guy's like, you can take like, so if you go in like landscapes, like you can take like these like there's like 3D videos, and like, and then you can come into Apple and you can watch them. And I'm like, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm not coming back. I'm not coming into this store unless it's an emergency, unless I need something from you people. I don't want to be here now. Like, this isn't a fun place for me. I mean, I know. I guess if you're like shopping,
that was something I was talking about
fun,
before too. Was like the idea that was like, I think about probably like 2000. I'm just gonna say 2011, 12 was the golden age of smartphones. Probably because that's like when I got mine. Yeah, that's like when you got yours too.
Yeah.
Like we were a little bit slower to it, but like not so behind. But I think it's like by the time we got it, it's like definitely a lot. Most people had them by then.
Yeah.
Instagram was kind of well on its way. The toaster effect was an all-time high at that point. But there was the golden age of like iPhones, or phones, or smartphones, I should say.
Yep.
The golden age of smartphones, and much like the airports, which I found out a golden age of the airline. This is all based on the Search Engine podcast, by the way.
Let's do a Search Engine podcast.
Search Engine. That it really, the golden age of air travel was like only 2 years, and I'm like, that makes sense that we milked the nostalgia of it, that it was like 10 years, that it was like
because now like
so
new iPhones,
like nice to travel.
New
iPhones
like, don't even have like a new thing. Like it's not like, because it used to be like every iPhone
release
was like this. You have to get the new release because it's got this, like, or you need to get the because it's got
they're not
that.
doing it.
And now they're just like.
If anything, they should keep withholding the technology because like it's way too fast paced. Like AI stuff is making things insanely fast.
Or make it so that you don't release an iPhone. Release an iPhone every like 3 years.
It's because they'll make money.
They make money, yeah. I know.
It's
all money.
Anyways,
we're trying not to get it political this podcast, but
it's hard not to.
It's hard not to with all this stupid capitalism.
Wow. Should we do a little? I think we should do a little shout out to Luigi.
Oh, shout out to Luigi.
And a little caveat as well. Caveat is, I know people are like, we all have crushes on him. I have a few thoughts on. I don't have a crush on him either, but
maybe because he's too young for me. But
yeah. I think it's just, I don't know enough about him, and I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if he like has hurt a woman, and I'm like, I don't want to like,
Right.
I don't really like have that celebrity type thing where it's like, oh my God, like
Yes.
that person, like, because I'm like, it's not even just because like a guy could like
Right.
have something in their past or like be actively an abuser. It's just, I don't have that thing for a celebrity. I basically,
I think it's odd to idolize anyone.
I think what's interesting too, though, like I saw something where people are like celebrating. They see him out doing like his like, I don't know, they're parading him about in public or something with chains on.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be like shaming him, but everyone's just like,
Wow,
"Woo!"
so badass.
Everyone's like very excited about it.
Yeah.
But the other part I would say is like, while people are actively cheering for him, I'm like, there's something that makes me feel like off about the fact that nobody's going to come to his aid to like help him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And help probably would require like a full revolt or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's something a little odd about being like, he's a celebrity and he's so cool and great, and then at the same time leaving him to be like, well, we're not going to be. I'm not taking up arms for this guy.
Yeah, no.
But I'll like clap and that's it. And it's just sort of like, it's kind of like a skin deep thing. And I mean, at least it's gotten a lot of conversation going. I think that's great. The class,
which I think it was his point. I don't think he wanted to be like, I don't need to be a hero. I just want people. Well, but I guess I can't assume what he wanted to do. But I assume it was like to get everybody thinking.
You definitely want to send a message because deny, defend, oppose, right?
Right.
That's a message. That's a message for the health insurance, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where everyone's like, I don't care what the heck's going on. You're not dividing me about health insurance. Like, because it's a need.
Yep.
It's like saying no food for people. And it's, well, I mean, it's kind of like what's happening. But anyway,
Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to say shout out. Love taking
be careful
action.
idolizing people.
I mean, if there's one thing I would say, if we have listeners at all, it'd be like, like always interested in learning ways to get involved because it's something I'm having to start to seek out this year.
Yes. We're trying to do that. I'm actually actively
like
trying to do
becoming, like learning more about doing activist type
stuff.
Actions.
Like go and do stuff. If you like Luigi,
like
try and do.
I think
some more
what
stuff.
people like about Luigi is he took action.
Yeah.
In a space that it's, unfortunately the only action to take in United Healthcare, it seemed to be.
Yeah. There's not really like, I don't know.
Good
the laws
option
are
to
bad
like,
and nothing can get changed.
To go up against him, right?
Yep.
Or to go up against United Healthcare. I'm like, I don't know. People could argue different things, but it seems like with that company specifically.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't know how you make a
complex.
Change. It's complex, guys. Turns out it's not an easy fix.
And
Turns
as
out
we said,
thoughts aren't actions.
Turns out thoughts aren't actions. Turns out comments aren't actions.
Comments aren't actions.
Okay.
Let's see what else I wrote down.
Wanted to at least shout out that.
Oh, here's something about Chicago. This annoys me because this keeps coming up every single fucking year. But this every single year they're like, Chicago, #1 rat city in America. #1 rat city in America. Like #1, all the rats. And I was like, that's not true. Basically, like the study that comes out that all these like news people put on the thing is a study by like the people that get called to kill rats.
Okay.
The exterminators.
So they're making the most money here in Chicago?
Probably, yes.
Yeah.
So they're getting the
rat
most,
city.
Right, most profitable. Like, so like they're getting called the most because maybe in Chicago there is enough rats and enough people that have a problem with rats to call exterminators. Where in New York, if you see a rat, you're gonna call an exterminator? No. And you're like, that's part of living in the city. So like, I'm like, I don't think there are more rats here.
That's like
there are more
judging.
people. Right, there are more people that have problems with rats.
There's more people that are
makes
willing
sense.
to try to eradicate
The rats.
rats.
Yes. And it makes me annoyed because I saw something about it. So we're not the #1 rat city. Stop saying that. It's annoying.
Stop saying it.
I'm annoyed by it.
It's probably a way to like get New York to be like feel better.
Probably.
Maybe it's like maybe this company's like, look, this will make New York feel better.
Or I feel like it's also a way too to be like, Chicago, be on the lookout for rats, and if you have a problem,
oh yeah,
you know,
or because
feel self-conscious about this.
Actually, yeah. That's probably more it because it's like, well, okay, who is our #1 customer? Chicago. Chicago actually pays us to take care of this problem, so let's that's fearmonger, make it sound like it's worse even. Based, like a lot of these like data things, it's like if you just pick and choose whatever story you want to tell, you can really tell kind of any
It was
story
like in the
with
90s
data.
when they would show something like Jessica Simpson being like a size 6 instead of a size 4, and they're like, wow, Jessica Simpson got fat, and that's just it was just a way to like push everybody to be like, am I fat?
Yeah.
Like, I guess I'm fat and I need to like work on that, and that's bad. It's the same thing. I feel like it's a way to like just like kind of fear monger people and be like, there's rats everywhere in Chicago.
We're the problem.
Look out for them and call.
It's so bad if you
It's
see
so
them.
bad. But I was like,
Get a cat, man.
get a cat then, yeah.
Outdoor cat. I don't know.
Annoying.
That is annoying.
I said that we were talking about stuff that in the future people will be like, you lived without that. I think the phone's going to be a big one.
That we lived without a phone. Like a
Yeah,
smartphone?
I think already even like people that are like 10 years younger than me would be like, so you drove around and you didn't know, like you didn't have a map
yeah.
telling you where to go, and like it's like, no, you like printed them out. And then I was talking to Alex about it, and Alex is like, even crazier when my family would go on road trips, like they had the whole map that like took up the whole dashboard where you had to like look
Yeah, we
at
had
a map.
that for Michigan,
Yeah, we had
yeah.
that for Michigan too. And so like it's just crazy to me that I was like, oh yeah, like we had all, like nowadays they're going to be like, oh, if I don't have a map, how am I, like if I don't have a GPS.
thing, yeah.
telling me where to go, how do I find it? Like I think that's going to be one of those things where they're like, how did you
I
even do
wonder
this?
if part of that like enables people in the city to drive more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like you wouldn't know where you're going. So
No.
you could you're like, okay, I need to get to like, let's say a south neighborhood like Pilsen or something like that. You'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, like I'll just take the red line to there. Okay, get off at 18th or whatever. You would have like a general, you'd probably know the city a little bit better because you'd be relying on the
And
stops.
you'd be lost a lot probably.
You probably would be lost. I was
Yeah.
lost all the time. Like when we first moved here, we didn't have
When we
smartphones.
first moved here, we didn't have smartphones. Yeah.
And I would like look for like, okay, when I get off the trains have like a compass that's like when you get off the platforms, like and onto the street, there's usually like a compass that gives you north.
south, yeah.
And then I would be like, okay, once I get north, I know to go left or right towards Halstead or Sheffield. Like I would have to know like which one was on east, which one goes east or west. And then sometimes I'd be convinced, I'm like, the lake is like a good like true east, right?
Yeah.
And then I'd be like convinced the lake was one direction. It absolutely was not. And I'm like,
No.
oh, why did I think that was that way? And then you're really
That's
disoriented.
Me. Yeah, that's me even now. I've lived here forever, and I was telling Alex that I was like, he's like, it's nice because Chicago is a grid system, and I was like, that's really good. But I'm like, you put me on any diagonal road,
Yeah, you really get confused.
I get so confused. You put me on Milwaukee, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going south, if I'm going east, if I'm
Sometimes
going west.
I get like really
go
mad
north.
about that. And I'm like, I don't know why I get so mad about it. I'm like,
I
Caitlin,
don't
you know this.
I don't know why she's getting mad
I
about
feel like
it.
she's acting like she doesn't know it, but she
I
does
don't.
know it.
I don't. I feel like I get so mixed up. I don't know if it's like my spatial reasoning is very bad, and maybe there's like a thing of like people have different intelligence for different things or something. But like I don't know what it is. But like
you know where Pilsen is in relationship to Andersonville, yes? I don't
right,
know.
yeah. No, I have a general thing.
All right.
But like when I'm on it and I'm like in it, it's much harder for me to like. So I'll put like on my thing. So then when I mean, there are certain things I knew. Like when my phone broke, I knew I went to the Apple store on North. So I'm like getting to theirs.
She knew where the Apple
I knew where the
store
Apple store on
was.
North is.
You
so
have to know that
That's
if
the
your
only
phone
thing
breaks.
you need to know
It's
because when my
emergency.
phone broke, I didn't have anywhere to go,
Emergency.
and then I knew the Verizon store was across the street, so I went there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I came back to the Apple store, and I was like, more problems, and then I knew how to get, even though I didn't have because I didn't have everything downloaded on my phone, I knew how to get from there to like my first dog walking appointment. So I know like
Yikes.
basic stuff or whatever, and I'm much better.
You don't have to use the map to get around to your job every day, do you?
No.
Okay, because I would think that all your clients, you know how to
But
get
a
to
lot
their
of times
houses
my
without your
clients want to
phone.
know a time estimate.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'll be like, 20 minutes.
What, to get there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To like let them know. So I'll put it in my map to be
Sure.
like how long.
Oh, okay,
Because
okay.
sometimes it's like more traffic, more not, or whatever.
Got
so
it.
then I'll let them know that. But yeah, no, with all the clients, it's fine. And it's just more like Milwaukee. It's more like, again, the diagonals. You put me on a diagonal, I lose my fucking mind. I don't know.
Yeah,
what to
so
say.
like without maps, I think people, like we talk about the backup cameras, right? Like being a
Yeah.
thing, or people have backup
That's
cameras
going to be one of
on
those things people are like, how did you back up?
How
It's
do you
like,
back up a car without a
you
camera
turned
or parallel park?
You turned
Like,
your whole body around and looked out the window. Like, but you can't see
Anything.
everything behind
Yeah.
you. You can't see anything that's like low behind you.
You get
like,
a feel for it. You know what I'm saying?
You hit a few kids.
I was talking to Josh about this, and he's like, honestly, backup camera. That's our brother, and I talked about. He's like, honestly, the backup cameras. He does a lot of things with boats, with the hitch. Like you have to line up your car to the hitch, and he's like, he's like a backup camera makes it so fast. He's like, I got really good at it to the point where it's like I get like, but you'd still be off, and then you'd get out there and be like so frustrated that like
how'd they do it? I don't know.
Trial and error. And like it's like it's like a weird like skill that doesn't need to be a skill, but I can see like once that you get the skill, you're just like there's a sense of pride that goes in and an ego that once it's like, oh, you just use a camera. Okay, weekly. Baby.
Yeah. Why is that?
But,
Why do we think of that? That's
how I think about Josh. Is like, no, the camera's like so helpful. Like even though he can do it without the camera, he's like, it's so much faster.
Our car is very old, so it doesn't have a camera. So everything we do is willy nilly hitting stuff,
like
knocking stuff.
I do think the camera's like, I don't like. It's just I'm so used to driving with like having to know the physical space. That like I'm not used to relying on that. Even if I'll like drive mom's car and it has it, I'm like I don't use it. And our car I'm like here. I'm like even in an imaginary world. I'm like all right, let's see where we at.
Yeah.
Like and then two, thing I really hate. I hate the spinning knob.
She doesn't like the spinning
knob to like change gears.
She hates it.
I bet everyone hates it.
I bet everyone hates it too. I hate it.
It's not satisfying to switch gears. Like
know,
you might as well just have
like
a button that like dings it to like drive. I mean, why even have the knob? Just get rid of the knob. Stop. I feel like the knob is like a baby toy. Like just spin around this little knob. It's like just give me a button since it's all electric anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know actually.
I think the stick to me, it feels like you're actually doing something. Like I want to feel like I'm doing something.
I think it needs to be enough of a motion where you put on the brakes, right? Because you can mess up the transmission if you go from drive to. You have to come to complete. You're supposed to. This is one of the things Jess doesn't. Sometimes Jess doesn't do this. Come to complete stop before you go from like drive to reverse. So I think that helps me to do it.
It's because, especially after the motorcycle, because you have the clutch.
Oh, and you can go.
You wouldn't come to a complete stop to switch.
Oh.
You can just kind of transition between.
That makes a lot of sense.
Or
I mean, our car's so old.
I don't think it's like.
I don't think it's gonna hurt something.
I could be completely wrong too. I would be surprised. Somebody's like, "You're not supposed to do that."
That's the worst thing you can do for motorcycles.
Yeah, no, I do know with like driving the motorcycle. It's like if I wanted to switch gear up or something like that, you would not be from 0 to second gear.
The whole thing is you're supposed to
would start going and then click into second, third, whatever.
Yeah.
And then let go of the clutch. I guess I like the physicality of driving. Even like too, like I don't ever use cruise control.
I've never used. Honestly, I don't know how to use it.
Tried using it once, and I was like, "This feels like." As soon as you turn it on, you're like, "Oh, I had to turn it off." Like somebody's passing me or something's happening, and I'm like, Also, I'm like, I feel like I'm
if you know how to do it, show me. But I know that
also feel like
your ex used to really push it. You used to be like, cruise control. Why don't you put in cruise control whenever we drive? And I was like, honestly,
I love cruise control.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's not like it's driving the car for you. You still have to like use the wheel.
I do think though, like this is the thing though, is like I do have a lot of hip pain when I drive.
Me too.
Sometimes.
So I'm like, we probably should
be using cruise control
because the button down is like hurting the
thing
leg.
Down is. I think like I've like dated people who've done.
Alex is like losing his mind right now.
He's like,
that's the ex.
A lot of guys that like the manual for the same reason. They like being more engaged when they're driving, so that
I like it. Like if I. Like, so driving the manual, I guess driving the car manual, I'm like, I don't know. It probably would suck to drive a manual in the city for a car.
Yes.
That's what I've heard.
It's not fun. Yeah.
But my motorcycle is small enough that like I do get to shift on it. But if my motorcycle was really big, I guess I would have to keep it in a low gear. And it just wouldn't be fun to drive because you're only up in first gear the whole time, right? But shifting up is fun. So like.
It's fun, yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not against like, I would get a manual.
You'd get a manual?
I think it'd be fun to have a little manual truck.
Yeah, that would be cute. Yeah, a small truck. Yeah,
small truck. Yeah,
something that you can like monster trucks.
Something you can do like projects with. You know.
Yeah.
Like throw some wood in there.
Yeah, you don't need them to be that big. What were they hauling?
You know, I feel like I'm like more and more like when we grew up. We're very lucky. We got to live in the woods.
Yeah,
growing
we
up,
lived in the woods.
Like we lived in a house, but we had like
lived in
the woods, and the house was in the woods. Anyways, and the more I'm just like. I don't know. That was pretty nice.
That was really nice.
The thing is, I really like being around culture.
Yeah, that's a problem.
That's the thing is, I really like being culture, but I really like being around the woods and like nature and like.
Yeah.
being like, especially after the light switch that happened in the neighborhood. We have these like high beam lights that are now in the Chicago
The LED
city.
stuff, Chicago
White
lights.
light. It's like New York Times City, Times Square.
Times Square.
Times City, you
Awful.
know. It's
Times City, New York.
that sounds like some like cartoon would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like Times City, like
Times City.
Springfield.
Yeah. Times City, New
Simpsons or something.
Exactly. They couldn't use the proper word.
But it's like very much daylight and awful when I'm like,
Blindingly
this is unnatural.
light.
I just
It's
want to be
so
like in
bad.
the dark.
You can see it from space. It's so bad.
I want to be in the dark.
Bad. Let the crime happen.
I want to hear crickets, and
Yeah.
frogs
Yep.
when I'm outside. I want to be outside and just smell like.
I heard there's a bald
plants.
eagle in Humboldt Park, so I was
Yeah,
excited
not for
about that.
long with these lights
Not these
blasting
lights.
it.
These lights are gonna make it.
I'm
go
gonna train
crazy.
these bald eagles to take out the lights.
Yeah, there
we
you
go.
go.
Yeah.
Put these eagles to work. I only know there's one, but you know,
One
if it had
bald eagle.
babies, I don't know how it got out.
I've always wanted to befriend a crow. Or
you
a
can befriend
raven.
a crow.
I don't know how though. They don't like. They're never like around long enough. I feel like you'll
No,
see
we don't
crows for
live
like
where-
a day or two.
Yeah.
Like in a group, and then
Yeah.
they're gone. And I'm like, why'd they come in? Why'd they leave?
When yeah,
Where'd they go?
I don't see them a lot in Chicago.
No.
In Ann Arbor, where I used to live,
They saw them a lot.
there was a whole like whatever. What are they called? A pack. Whatever.
There's like a cool name.
There's a cool like a murder. or
Murder.
something.
It's
Yeah.
a murder.
There
so
they would be
cool.
all so like every single time I would leave for school and come back from school, they were like everywhere. And it's like one little area, and they like just these trees they decided or whatever. And I was like, I didn't know you could befriend them at the time, but I would have if I could. But you just give them like a little treat.
Oh, I definitely want to befriend a crow.
Yeah, you just give them a little
Or
treat, and then
raven.
they'll bring you treats.
I know. They're cool.
They're really cool. They're super smart.
Super smart.
I watched a crow do a escape room. It was insane. I was like, put this crow in college. Get this crow president.
Get this crow.
Get this crow president.
I like the idea. I'm just imagining in my head like this, like suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a tiny bird head sticking out. He's like,
Okay, President Crow. I don't know how that's gonna go over.
probably be better than
Probably be better than
be bribed in the same level.
we arrive in the same.
Like here's $1 billion. Doesn't really do much for him.
No,
here's
no.
$1 billion corns.
Here's a little peanut.
Here's a peanut. Here's $1 billion peanuts.
Very good.
Very good. Now
And then he'd come back and he'd be like, "Here is a bottle cap for you."
Yeah.
And that's a nice shiny thing that you can take that.
President Crow
That's for you.
brought us a bottle
Some of them
cap.
they'll bring like money.
That'd
or,
be
like,
pretty
change.
cool.
Yeah.
And if our president was like, it just shows a bottle cap, we'd all go crazy.
Yeah,
for
we
it.
don't go crazy.
Yeah, it'd be fun to have something fun to cheer for again.
When the crow beat the escape room, it came and it like gave a piece of its food to like this like picture on the wall of like its friend,
Yeah.
and it like knew to do that. It was a person's picture, and it came and like gave him like an offering to be
That's
like,
cute.
"Thank you." It was very cute.
I wonder if we're supposed to befriend the animals. I mean, not that I'm against. Obviously, I was already kind of nice. You know, I'm not friends with animals.
She's not
I
not
would like
friends
to
with
have
animals.
more friendships with animals, but befriend them because. I mean, these rats are like driving cars and things.
Yeah,
like,
these
the
rats are
crows doing
driving
puzzles
cars,
and getting out
man.
of
They're
escape
very
rooms.
smart.
We do
They're
things right.
Very smart. I see a lot of videos of bears.
In the Northman, which we just watched,
just
we're
watched The
behind them
Northman.
times. The ravens or crows.
ravens. I
Ravens
think-
come and save him. Right?
Yeah, but I
And
don't know if there's a difference between ravens and crows.
a raven, I think they are less likely to be like in a huge group, and they're bigger.
Oh.
The one
Are
thing
they
is
are?
they are much bigger. Yeah.
Oh,
Their beaks are usually like a little bit different looking. And anyways, the birds come and save him and pick the ropes clean, and I'm like, we need more animal alliances.
yeah, we do.
That needs to. I think animals would line up with people.
I think they would align with the
I
good
think-
people.
Yeah, the good people. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it'd be like, well, we're trying to get their
They
land
do
back
look
and stuff.
very similar
Let me see.
in this little cartoon somebody made.
Raven has to be on the left. Yeah. Yeah, but I think their size.
I
is
think they're bigger. Yeah. Oh, they kind of look like fluffy crows. They kind of look like crows that like got a blowout. Yeah. Yeah, they look like a crow that got a blowout.
Yeah, the beak is like bigger.
Okay, and it got a beak enhancement as well.
It kind of looks like the evolution, like the Pokemon evolution version of a crow.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like it's like you start as a crow, and then you
Yeah.
evolve into a raven, and
Into
after
a
that,
raven.
you're probably a vulture or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Vultures are
Whatever you
pretty
want to
cool.
be. Yeah, vulture's fine. Gets scarier and scarier. It makes sense that it's the raven and not the crow.
What other technology do you think like a hypothetical grandchild would be like, Grandma, you didn't have this? Because, you know, a real grandchild seems like a crazy thing to
I mean, not having my phone for a few hours, like I feel like that.
I feel like my life, I just like, there were so many senses.
different.
Sensories to take,
I've
sensories to
experienced
take in.
stuff.
So many
Yes.
sensories.
So many sensories that to take in that people don't usually take in. I think
very
it'd be hard for
grounded.
people to understand that when you, and I think this just came up with someone told a story and people in the comments were like, they couldn't understand why you wouldn't just call why didn't you just call your mom? And I think not having an ability to call somebody when you were out would probably be one of the things that is like, what? Like you just couldn't
Oh, you
call
mean
it.
now?
Yeah, like I don't think
I mean now, or you mean if you had a grandkid, that grandkid
I mean
would
both,
be
I
like,
guess.
Because I was like,
because the grandkid would be even more removed, I remember.
right. Well, oh, you mean like, well, that's a technology now that's kind of crazy,
That's
right?
crazy,
That's
yeah.
like, oh, like now when I'm out for a walk, I can call somebody, which I think is why our mom would give us like a hard time. Like I'm out walking my dog and then I call her. It was like, she probably used to do a call and like sit down and take the call.
Yeah.
Because you were chained to that wall.
She was chained to that wall, yeah.
But if you weren't chained for the wall, like take a walk.
Take a walk.
And talk.
She's a walk talker.
No,
likes to
now
walk,
she
yeah.
is, but
Yeah.
it's just funny. She always like, oh, you're only calling me when you're walking your dog. And
Yeah,
it's
it's like I can do something. Multiple things at once.
like, do two at once. That's the technology of, that's
amount of
cell phone
time
technology.
that
But I
they-
get what you're saying. Like the only time you can do
Yeah.
a call is when you're at your house.
You know
and
what I
that's
was just
it.
thinking?
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's just exactly. You couldn't call
That's not a
anyone.
now thing that a
No.
grandchild would be like, you couldn't do that, Grandma?
Yeah,
Well, it couldn't at one point. We didn't
The
have,
big
again,
thing
we
I'm
didn't have a cell
noticing-
phone until I was in college,
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't
which
have
is
stuff.
late for our
I
generation.
know. I had one for.
Oh. Someone is more loved in the family. Just kidding.
I was a junior, and it's just like they got me I think Dad got it or something. So it was like a really bad cell phone. It was not like
Yeah,
you
it's like
couldn't
if you
text.
need it for calls.
Yeah, if you need it for calls, and like the battery would constantly die, so I wouldn't turn it on until after school when I had to like get a call from them.
Yeah.
But that was pretty much it. But it didn't do anything else. It didn't text really or anything. And then I think maybe
I still have like
senior year?
photos on like my old like flip phone that I'm like, I don't know how to get off, but I'm like,
I have no
it'd
idea
be
how to
funny
get
to
off.
get those off.
I would love to get some of the
I'm sure
photos
some
off
of them
my
are so
phone.
silly.
I know. I would
They're
love to
probably
get
not.
them off.
It's probably just like stupid.
No, I know some of mine are funny. You know what? Like the big
They'd
thing
be,
I'm
like,
noticing.
so blurry.
The big thing I'm
Just, like,
noticing
all
is that
pixels.
people like when you didn't have like technology is like it's like oh it makes your life so much easier because like look now you can back up without like you can use a camera and back up. But like it also like is a thing of like you can use your camera to back up. Like you should be back to work faster.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like the biggest thing I noticed
Yes.
is like when we're talking about this is like oh how much time they had. Like someone had time to like sit at a desk and my mom would like make calls and she would just like that's all she would do. She would sit like she would doodle, but she would just be like sitting there making calls.
Yeah,
And
like,
nowadays
talk
it's
to
like
my
do you have
friend.
time to have like 2 hours and just like take a sit and talk to somebody without doing other things?
Without trying to produce content with that
Without
talk.
not producing content with that doc?
Like if you're not,
We're doing it right now. I
you're
didn't
not
notice
being
it.
productive and making money off of your conversations.
That's
or
true, yeah.
Exercising.
That's true.
Or walking the dog.
Yes,
Or
that's basically what I'm saying.
yeah, we're multitasking
Like
constantly.
by the thing, like the
Constantly.
thing of like, oh, it's crazy that they had to like use a map or whatever, but like you also like
Like you
were,
had time to like unfold
Yes.
a map.
That's what
In
I
this
think.
world,
You had
wouldn't
time
have
to get lost, to unfold a map, to
not get lost.
to
reorient
to fall in love with a new person. You have a second family now
Yep. People had second families back
because
then.
they were getting lost and they were finding new people they were in love
They
with.
had to find a new love.
Yep.
Start a new life.
Yep. I think maybe
Now
that's
is
going to be
no
weird.
time.
I think maybe in the future it'll be like weird to. Hopefully not, but I hope it won't be like weird to be like you met your person like in person. That'll probably be something that they're like.
Oh,
But hopefully not though.
I don't know. I don't think apps are that
don't think apps are the-
successful.
yeah,
And like,
no.
there's definitely that's a huge drop off. Like, I think maybe the app thing is. This is again, we don't know anything. We have no facts.
Right.
We're not looking at things, more of a vibe.
Disclaimer.
But I would think somewhere like where Josh, because Josh met his wife, I think through Tinder or like one of the apps,
Yeah.
right? Hinge
Yep.
maybe or something. people live so far away from each other and there's not that many people that lived out like in Idaho where he was at. So it's like, I do think it's good.
You have to wife up the first woman you saw.
Yeah. I do think there's something beneficial for that. And then too, for people that don't drink. So I think there's something with that, where there's like lack of like community type events that happen, that the technology helps enable that.
Right,
Which
but
again,
then
kind of
also-
goes back to the community problem.
Right, but also it's like I feel like the technology kind of took away the community
But then
a little
that
bit.
same person,
too.
those two people could still be like cheating on each other straight up.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. They wouldn't know because you had no way of tracking people.
There's still no, well,
And
then
you
or
didn't have
even
an
now.
iPhone of.
Then or now, because I'm like, I think the apps enable cheating more.
Yes, I think it's
Because
easier
you
to
can
cheat.
just keep finding people that are open to dating.
Yes and no. I feel like it's like maybe it's just as bad because I feel like
Yeah, but there's
there
more
was-
people single now. So if there's more people single, that means that there's more people that if you want to cheat, you can go find somebody that's open to dating.
Sure, but
least-
somebody being in a marriage doesn't mean they won't cheat.
No, but there's just more opportunity.
Yeah, maybe.
For who's available.
Maybe. I do feel like back then though, you could have a second family and nobody even know. There wasn't an iPhone that like
Yeah, I think
had
it was
your
weird though. I don't think it was like as common. Like now it's
have
just
no
like
idea.
probably like 80% of people are cheating.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like it was so
That are
easy.
dating?
Like how would you know someone would just be like I'm going to be late to the office. Like you don't have their location on
Oh,
your
it's
phone.
easier. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like
I see
an
what you're
easier
saying.
way to get away with it. Maybe there's more options now. in a way,
Maybe now what
but
it is people are more aware of it. So
Maybe.
now it's like it seems more prevalent, but it's like more like these guys weren't getting caught before, and now
they weren't getting
left
caught.
and right.
I don't think they were. Because like who would know? Who would say like
I'm working late at the office. And
Yeah.
it's like I know exactly what your job is.
Yeah.
I know everything.
And then
I
let's
can
say-
Google your job. I
Yeah.
can figure out what you're doing.
let's
I
say
can
like
talk to your
you find out
coworker.
like the person you're dating has a wife. You're like okay now I have to find her phone number, make a call. It's like
yeah.
I mean,
And
back
how
then
how
was
would you
fine.
even find her name? Sometimes
I wouldn't find her
right?
name. Yeah.
Well, I guess they usually have the same last name.
Yeah,
but then,
maybe, but yeah. Or like, but and also it's like back then, like he didn't. It's not like you had a cell phone.
And
you
back
could
then
call,
it would have
you'd have to
been
call
it would
his
have been like
business.
you're the XYZ name for getting with this guy even if you
Right.
didn't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
no.
So they would blame the woman. So
Yeah, they
that, there's
blame the
also
woman,
that
yeah.
part of
Yeah.
the weight of it being on that where it's like
and I feel like that's
the guy would
maybe makes
guy-
it less likely for a woman to come forward to another woman and be like, "Hey, this happened."
where now they wouldn't care. They'd be
Now
like,
they'd be like, "Yo, he's trash."
yeah, just so you know.
Just so you know.
Keep saying that trash.
Yeah. I mean, I think letting the woman know. I mean, maybe now women would be like, "It's not my problem, and not my drama to do with that." But
It depends. It depends.
yeah,
Probably case by case.
yeah. But I just feel like back then, like
Oh, but
You couldn't
also
call
the
their
way that
house.
people cheat too would be like it's clearly on their phone. They're like liking other girls'
Yes.
stories, stuff like
Yes,
that.
yes,
It's like
yes.
very like
they've got like on their phones,
it's
they've
very
got like
much
photos of
out
other
in the
people.
open. Like
Yes.
in order to have these relationships, you have to do it through your phone. So then
Yes.
your phone is obviously your tell,
Yes.
and that's why people get caught.
That's what
much
I'm saying.
faster.
Like back then, I mean, obviously before like people birth control was like widely used and stuff, it would be like a child would be your tell because, someone would be like, well, I got
pregnant, yeah.
and now I have a kid. But like you couldn't call the guy's house, really. I mean, I guess you could try, but like you couldn't really like contact that person.
Right. No way of knowing.
I guess that's why in Mad Men they always show them like the mistresses or whatever will call like the business.
Yeah,
during,
yeah.
like business hours. These
Right.
guys weren't doing any work.
No.
They were drinking. They were talking to mistresses.
and now those same people were the ones that sped up the work process. So now we're the ones working our butts off.
Yep.
Yep.
They're like, all we did was drink
So they can keep doing
and get
their thing.
ladies. And wow. And we were so successful, but the economy was so good. Didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
It was more
Equitable.
Equitable.
Yeah.
Even though not for everyone, and
No.
clearly a lot of problems.
Clearly a lot of problems.
Clearly a lot of problems, which actually then made things much worse.
Yeah. It made things much worse. Yeah. 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 It was just like,
Things were equitable within white men, and
Yeah.
then it.
and they were having a good time.
And
And
they
honestly, if you're a white family and you've been here for a minute
I know. Yeah.
and you're not rich, I mean, maybe not rich, but like you should have like, I guess I can't say that. There is a cycle of poverty.
Yeah.
We can't deny that.
Upward mobility.
Upward mobility does not exist. I talked about gifts. We were talking about gifts before this too. Someone said that, like, I told Jess that I don't know if everyone's like good at.
I think the mistake really quick was
Yeah.
all these families, these like white family type people, because they had some land, right? Everyone's
Right.
like families, like I used to be a farmer. We used to have we got
Yep,
the
yep,
farm,
yep.
blah, blah, blah. Why'd you get rid of the farm?
Yeah, dumb.
Because you got rid of the
Don't
land.
get rid of the
Don't
land.
get rid of your
Never
land.
give up the land.
As soon as people get rid of their land, I'm like, it's a mistake.
Yep.
I think it's a mistake. Huge
That's
mistake.
the whole thing of the good
Not
earth.
to say that like people had control over that, because there's usually economic things or circumstances where then the bank basically is going to take your land, so you don't really have a choice.
Yep.
So you sell it just to kind of keep surviving or keep afloat. But I'm like, anytime, and that's like a thing where all these houses are getting bought up, and I'm like, if more people own their own like little bit of land or property, that would
Yep.
be a big deal.
That's the whole point of the good earth. At the end, he's like, "Don't sell the land."
Really?
He's dying, and he's like, "Please."
Okay, I'm
He's
going
telling
to
his
read that one.
he's telling his like kids like, "Don't sell it," because him and his wife like worked so. I mean, it was his wife is obviously like the smart one that holds the whole family together and does everything right.
Tracks.
But
Tracks.
she at the end, like I think she passes maybe, and then he is dying, and he's like, and he could tell his kids are like selling off the land and everything. He's like, "Don't sell the land, don't sell the land." But
Sounds like a nightmare I had.
sounds like a nightmare she had. We sold our land, so now we're landless. Yeah, land's a good thing to have.
It's definitely a privilege too.
Yeah,
though.
it's
I
definitely a
realize,
privilege,
like, I'm
yeah.
like, now that we don't have it, I realize. I mean, I already kind of knew that it was something of
Yeah.
a privilege to have some acres, right, or whatever that we
Right.
had in the woods. But I'm like, but it feels like a real sense of home. And I think it's different than just like, oh, I have this little house in the suburb. I think having like
Yeah,
some wilderness or some sort of like farm or something like that feels like earth that you can work. Because a suburb earth is not the same. I don't think.
No, it's not really, yeah.
It's not as untamed or something. It's
Yeah.
something. And most people are fine not having that, right?
Yeah.
They're like, I just
Yeah.
want to have my own thing that I can like customize.
I just want to have like a little
and,
house.
like,
I just want to have a room.
well,
That's like
I think the idea that you could customize it and make it your own, improve it, like there's
Yeah.
a sense of pride in when you own
Yeah.
your own things. So not everyone even like wants that, but I'm like, having it is very nice. It's
Yeah.
like luxury.
kind of spooky though.
It is spooky in the woods.
The woods is spooky. The woods spooky.
Woods, spooky.
Spooky woods.
But there's just lots of nice critters out there.
We're talking about. I was talking about giving gifts.
Yeah.
And I think some people are good at giving gifts, but I think some people are good at getting gifts.
Are
That's
you
the
good at
whole
getting
thought.
gifts?
Good at giving or getting?
Getting. What's somebody that's good at getting gifts? What does that look like?
I feel like our baby sister's good at getting gifts.
Yeah.
She's like someone where I feel like I could buy Sean anything, and she's just like, I think she's like, oh my God, this is so thoughtful, and she'll like find a way to use it. She's not like picky. She's just like, I don't know. She's just good.
Collecting garbage, folks.
Well, or maybe you're like, not like in a
Sounds
bad
good.
way, but like maybe you're someone who's like more, yeah, or you like have more space maybe in your house. So it's like, you know, I get you a little ornament from my trip, and it's like, oh wow, that's so great, whatever. We're like, if you live in the city and stuff, it is like, or you're trying to buy like, or be less like, have like less things, it is much harder to buy for that person.
I wonder, like, this is just around like the idea of like, you know, people have these things around like manifesting things or vision boards and things like that. It would make me think that someone like our sister Sean is good at getting gifts, and also probably gets more gifts in her life because she always is appreciating anything she gets.
True.
Not everything maybe is 100% a fit, but she doesn't care. She's happy to have it, right?
She's happy to
so
have it.
she's gonna probably she's probably got more gifts in her life
Yep.
than people that don't
probably
like what they get. as
Right.
much. Like myself, I'm someone that is harder
Just
to
hard
get,
to-
get for.
yeah.
But I also am, I will specify this, I am paid for my taste. That's my job.
She's paid for her taste.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, as if I'm a creative director, my job is to distinguish things and
Yeah.
help
But if I
set
even had
the
like
taste of
yeah.
something and be like, okay, this is the idea for this. But then what's the idea for me? It's harder to
Right.
define my thing.
Yes, her
Because
taste
I don't
is
want to be
not-
categorized. Sometimes I don't want to be perceived. I'm like that.
Yeah.
With things. And I'm like, you got
Yeah.
it, but you didn't get it right. And then now I have to like direct you on what is right. But then it's such a refined thing and nuanced. And it's like somebody's trying to do something nice for me. So like that's where things get tricky.
Yeah. It's hard to like know what you'll like, or I guess maybe too, like sometimes I know people will feel like, oh, you got me this. Like, what must you think about me if you got me this?
Yeah.
I think people have this like idea too. Like, I don't know, everyone, like, I guess maybe comics will make this joke where they're always like, like, oh, someone bought me like soap for my birthday. Like, what do you think, I'm stinky? Like, I never think that.
No.
I never think someone bought me a gift thinking like, you're stinky, here's some soap. I'm always like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they think of it. I guess it's a weird way to think of gift getting. See, that's a bad gift getter.
Yeah, that would be a bad.
That's a bad gift getter.
I don't think I'm like that where I'm like,
No.
what I think is like, I see people. What my thing is like, I'll see a gift that I get, and I can see that they're playing in the field, right? They're in the field, right? But they're not in the court. You know, they're like. They didn't. I don't know. I'm trying to like do an analogy. And I don't know enough about sports, but I'm like the idea.
Clearly, that's what happened there. I was like, wait, we're in the field, but now we're in the court. We're on the turf, but we're also near the basket.
We're near a basket.
We're in the basket.
The basket is there.
We're shooting.
The shot has not been made.
The touchdown
There's
goes
no goal.
through the hoop.
There's no hoop. There's
nothing.
no.
Anyways, I get you. Yeah, we're close, but not there.
Yeah, like I can tell that someone tried. They showed up. They put their sneakers on.
They tried.
I'm still gonna go with this.
But they're
analogy.
like, you're still benched.
They put their sneakers on, and the game's over. But
the game's over.
They showed up.
They did.
They showed up. But I can tell people have tried, and I'm like, I can tell, and then I think they got it right, and I think that like causes like pain for me because I'm like, I can see that you thought this. Like,
see, my mom never thinks she got like with Jess. She's always like, I don't. If you want to take it back, like there's a receipt. My mom's always like, whenever she gives Jess anything, she's always pulling. I
can tell that she tries. Like there's some things.
She got the Bruce Springsteen tickets. She still tries. I'm not saying she didn't try.
Tickets that like nailed
Mom
it.
always tries. I'm saying that she's gotten so used to
yeah.
being like, oh, this is probably wrong.
Yes.
You know, which I think some people are just more particular.
Yes. It's sort of
because like sometimes because Sean, my baby sister, like messaged me about Jess, and she's like, "What does Jess want for Christmas?" And I was like, gun to my head, I couldn't tell you.
I mean, I could tell you stuff. It's just way too expensive for anybody.
Right, it's too expensive. Yeah,
like I want to do like a custom built wood thing, but that means me having to design that wood thing.
Right.
So I need like $2,000 to then make this thing.
At least, yeah.
So I need $2,000. That's what I need.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need like then it would be access service, which are then somebody that's not living. Caitlin's the only one that can give me access service because we live together.
Right.
Would be I need to empty my studio and move it out.
Yeah.
That's just a physical labor type thing.
Yeah.
And that's or like watching Stanley. Why go do that? Something like that. It's like that's.
Have you ever gotten a gift where you're like someone got you something that you didn't even know you wanted?
Didn't know I wanted.
Like you got it and you're like, oh wow, that's like.
Alex, when we first were dating, this is an ex, he got me the first like Christmas we had together. So it's a honeymoon phase, very exciting or whatever. He knew I liked sloths. He sewed me a stuffed animal. So like that always stood out to me.
Yep.
That he made. I still am shocked that he made this
Yes,
thing
me
to
too.
this day. And that he got me a book about screen printing because I was screen printing at the time. So it's like very specific. And he got me taught, which I don't need either of those things, right? That's not wasn't like I was surprised, but it wasn't like. But he got me tickets to see the musical Chicago.
Yeah.
And like that to me was like something that's like kind of hit on something where he's like, where it was something like I wouldn't give myself or think to, I guess. And then somebody gave me this thing, so that Chicago musical thing like hit on a way where it was like. You didn't think to give that to yourself. Like a book or a stuffed animal I could get. Obviously, you made something. This is very special and custom. But like the musical tickets were like a really cool, unexpected thing, I guess. That was like the only time I was like, think of that. I was like very, I could think of top of mind now. That was like really taken aback, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I ever, I'm trying to think of a present that I've got that I was like, oh wow, that's amazing. Like I've gotten good presents and I've gotten stuff like that, but I don't think I've ever gotten a present where I was like, oh, I guess maybe
I think it's something that like feels like feels seen. I think is sort of
it's a good thing. Yeah,
like I usually try to get you something that I'm like Caitlin won't get this for herself. Like one of them was like an airline ticket for your first airplane show or airplane
ride.
Yeah, it's either go to like San Francisco or New York.
New York,
wherever you
New York.
Yeah. So something that you wouldn't necessarily get, but I kind of feel like you need or something.
Yeah, that's
usually
true.
how I try to
Yeah,
get.
me too. I try to
for
get like
you.
needs, yeah, because I feel like a need is that something that like can't be denied. Versus that's why I told Jess or Sean like I was like, well, Jess needs like new sweatpants, but then like I told her like.
But the
certain
thing I got
parameters.
Sean does not need.
Right? No, she doesn't need.
But and this won't be out. But this won't be out.
No, it's not
by
gonna
the time.
come
So
out,
I got her a antique Batman toy
Mm-hmm.
that was actually a toy I got as a child, and Sean was obsessed with Batman, like the original. I think it's like one of the original ones from the '80s with what's his name,
Keaton.
Michael Keaton,
Mm-hmm.
and Jack Nicholson
Jack Nicholson
as the Joker.
She liked the Freeze one too, but
Yeah, I know, but I remember her watching. That's what that one is the one that got her into Batman.
yeah.
And then
They didn't have that one though.
yeah, we had some recording of it or
We
something.
must have for something.
She watched
we must
that
have
one like
lost it.
on repeat.
Because we didn't. I don't remember.
And then
watching
she
it.
watched that one too.
Yeah, I remember
I don't
watching
actually.
that
Now I'm not sure which one came first, but I remember her watching the one with the Joker like on repeat and being like, this scene where they're like on the rooftop and he's like, "You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses or something." It's
Sean
funny,
loving
but
it.
Sean like just standing there like looking at the screen. I have a specific memory of her like watching that
Old
movie.
house, new house.
New House every day watching that movie.
Don't remember
And
having
being
a
like
VHS.
annoyed that like we can't watch anything else because you only have one TV. And Sean, for some reason,
I don't remember
the
this at all.
toddler gets control over the TV.
It's quite possible it happened. I just don't remember it.
And then, anyways, so Sean loves Batman. I have this Batman toy that I got from a friend that's from that 80s Batman movie. And then Sean's playing with that toy a lot because then it's basically her toy because she plays with it so much. And then one day I think we're playing a game and then I throw the Batman over the bridge that we had in our house.
Oh, really?
Yes. And then it breaks on the tile and it splits like in all these pieces.
Oh,
and then
I thought his like little belt thing just broke.
no,
Oh.
his legs and everything came off.
Wow.
It broke.
That's traumatic.
Yeah, and then she was crying, and then I had to go. I think you had to buy her a toy too. I bought her
a toy too.
I had to buy her a new Batman toy
Me too.
because of how upset she was.
Me too. Because I remember getting her one on a motorcycle.
But it was my toy.
I wasn't even part of this.
I don't know why you had to buy her a toy, but I remember having to buy her a toy.
So
It
spoiled.
was like $20 or something.
See, this is the thing. Babies are always like, it's so hard being the baby of the family. I'm like,
No one buy me anything when my
don't
toy
buy me
broke. I
toy. Yeah, exactly.
didn't even have a toy.
Yeah, I didn't even have a toy. She took it.
My toy. She took my toy.
She took
yeah.
my toy.
But yeah, I remember
toy's
having to do
long
that. So,
gone.
anyways, long story short, I
That's
found
our
that
present.
Batman, that old Batman. That was my Batman originally. And now I have restored it. I will give it to her and I will take it back as mine.
I will give it to her, and then as a learning, I
As
will
a
take it back.
ultimate learning
as
lesson.
an ultimate learning lesson. This has always been mine, never yours. No, she's just gonna.
No, I'm just gonna give her the toy, and I think she'll be super jazzed. It'll
Yeah.
be the original toy. And what's kind of cool is like they didn't like beef up the Batman. Like he still looks like a regular person.
Yeah, I like
he
that.
still looks like a Michael Keaton.
Now
type
they're all like
body.
roided up.
Yeah, now they're like they have to be like
Yeah.
roid man.
No.
That like beefed up.
This guy's a businessman that like sits for 9 hours a day.
Like even if they have like a new Batman toy now and like they're doing Robert Pattinson, where it's like I would say he's probably fit for the role. I'm guessing,
Yeah,
but
but
not
he's not,
like
like,
he's not
roided.
beefed up.
No, he's not
right?
beefed up, no.
And I bet they would sell the toy for him looking more beefed up.
They would.
And it's like I
don't know
kind of
why.
like the ones that were like I remember I used to get tutored for reading, and my tutor had all these like Star Wars action figures, and they all look like the actors. They all look like regular body people.
Yeah.
They're not beefed up.
They don't
like,
need to be like, "Whoa."
I really like those. Like
Yeah.
I have like I guess a nostalgia for like toys that aren't
regular people. Yeah.
that are regular people action figures. Although I still like really enjoyed like the Ninja Turtle action figures
yeah,
and things
yeah,
like
of course.
that.
But that's a turtle.
but
That's
they're like
different.
they're like a deformity.
Yeah,
kind
they're
of,
they've
like
got ooze in them. That's
they're
different.
imaginary. I guess.
Yeah,
is what
imaginary.
I mean.
Yeah.
More imaginary. I
right.
like
Where
that.
Batman's supposed to be like a real person.
Yeah, I like that. The other ones were like rooted in the reality of what the movie was.
Right.
Or that the movie does kind of root them more to reality, probably unintentionally so. But
Right. I mean, Michael Keaton is
But anyways,
not,
very
is not
excited to give her a
beefcake.
present. She's gonna cry. She's
She's
probably
gonna be
freaking out trying to get me a
so
present
crazy.
because
She's freaking out.
she's like she knows how good mine is. I'm like, this year you didn't get it. It's fine. You probably never.
I
get
think
it.
that's the move, though. The move is if you don't have money to get something that's really like thoughtful or homemade,
Or as soon as you
like
think
that.
of it, get it. Because I thought about this like in September, October,
Yeah.
and then I just bought it
I think
immediately.
I
Because
wrote
I'll think of
down-
ideas and then I never do it. And then it's like you just need to execute, get the thing, and then just save it.
Yeah, or putting out like I think I put down something for
Or start
crisp.
taking notes when you.
Yes,
people
I
talk.
put down like crisp Chris B Day. This is from 2023. I put down Ghost Honey Book. She probably already got that. And then I said Silvery Fish and Ship, which is like this image that she had of this fish in a ship or whatever. Anyways, but like, I mean, I wrote it down and that never came up anything, but I think writing it down is a good thing. Like put like gift ideas down and then be like, oh, this person needs this. Because like once they say it or think it, then when like later on you ask them, they're like, I don't think I need anything. But they're like, oh, you forgot that you said that you kind of wanted this.
But I am so specific about things. Like I know it's like specific. I need measuring cups, and I'm like, well, the metal ones, they have a target. I don't like the way the handles feel. Like I just, there's like a tactile thing. Like I really like I know it when I see it, kind of thing. Yeah. And
but that's hard though because it's like
I hate
for people trying
something.
to bite you, trying to bite for you because like only you know when you see it.
I know, but it's to the point where like I have to.
But then it also gets to a point where you're like, if you just like send me exactly what you want and I go out and buy it, then I don't really see like the point. Yeah, I don't see how that's like fun. I mean,
I guess it's like if I have I would have to have like a laundry list of things that I want, and then just kind of keep adding to it, and then people could have access to that list.
Yeah, that's basically what I did for Christmas. Something. Yeah. I like because just had a bunch of stuff. I'm like, I know we need this, I know we need that, and I just put down like what we needed.
But like the thing of like I'm like something about how the tactile experience is with things, or like the quality of something. Because like again, I wanted to get these things at Target, these measuring cups. Yep. But the handles felt like sharp or something, and I'm like, I don't like this. And they don't look that cool. I know I could find something cool, so whatever, I won't do it. And then these problems like persist. Where I'm like, I wanted to get a duvet cover, saw what they had at Target. I hate all the colors. Yep. I'm like, well, I'm not doing it. I can't replace, even though my duvet cover's falling apart. And this happens with my shoes to the point where I'm like, I just have to buy something.
Why don't you just buy the same shoes?
I don't even like the shoes I have.
She doesn't even like the shoes she has.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's awful.
Like I have a pair of like black boots that you've seen. They have kind of a wood sole on them. Those are good. They're not great stylistically. Like,
what are you looking for? You don't know.
Don't even know anymore.
She doesn't know. She'll see it. She'll know it when she sees it.
You know, it takes so long. Like the squared toe boot I was looking for like 3 years ago. And now it's kind of more in style. And I'm already over it.
She's already over it.
By the time you can find it in the mass market, I don't want
it. I don't really
I basically just need a lot of money.
Yeah, she needs a lot of money.
Need a lot of income.
She needs a lot of money.
Passive income.
That's it.
This is the only
That's why we do this podcast, to make money, guys. So
honestly, this is what I would like is like if trends stop changing so quick. Yes. Because then something like that square boot toe, maybe it, 3 years ago I wanted it. Yeah. Styles would take longer. It would take, by the time it's mass market, I'm over it, right? Yeah. And now, I don't know, there's something about how fast trends go that I'm like I showed you that sofa that had like embroidery on it. I'm like, this is too far. Like, we can't be switching out our sofas, guys. No. We just can't.
No.
Like,
I mean, the clothes thing is out of control. You have to be really careful with clothes, like what you buy, because
it's wasteful,
it's so wasteful.
Like, for work this year, like, for work now in the winter, I'm thinking uniform, doing I'm like, I know I like turtlenecks. I'm just going to do a turtleneck every day. Yep. And that's it. Like, I'm not trying to be style queen over here. I'm not. I would like to do some cool things or something, but that's just going to be like on a special occasion or like when I'm hanging out with my friends. But for work, I cannot add that extra layer of decision making to go in the morning. It takes up too much time.
It takes up too much time. If I have to go,
which sucks because it's like for like it shows, be kind of fun to like get dressed or wear clothes.
No, it can be, and it is fun to do. But I just feel, preaching to the choir because like I'm someone who's like I need to have like a uniform with like on stage. It's very much like t-shirt or like tank or something, and then something open. I like having something open. I don't like having like this like or whatever. I mean, I'll do it every now and then, but
she'll do it.
I'll do it every now and then. But if you see me doing it,
it's not her regular form.
It's not my regular form. I usually like having an open.
You used to be, on stage rocking the ball cap a lot.
I used to have my hat on a lot. Now I feel like it makes my face look fat.
Really? Yeah. Is that why you're not doing it?
I don't do it as much. I feel like my face got fatter from medication. I gotta get a fatter hat. That's the thing.
Gotta get a bigger hat.
Get a fatter hat for a fatter face. My face, medication and weight gain and whatever made my face like bigger. So then I feel like it changed some things.
Bigger hat.
Bigger hat.
Bigger face.
Bigger face.
Bigger hat.
Bigger hat. That must be what it is. Just getting used to that. I do like having. I feel like I do it sometimes. I'll have my hair down, but honestly, I should always have my hair up when I'm on stage. I feel like
really.
I kid myself into thinking.
I think it's
fine.
the haircut.
I think it's the haircut too. I think the
you
haircut
need
sucks.
a bigger face frame.
I think it's awful.
You need to shag it up a little bit.
I need a shag. I need like some life. Yeah.
Like take away if it's feeling too heavy around the face and you feel like that you can't wear it down. I think just doing a bigger face frame / like a shag type thing, like not full mullet but like shag kind of thing.
Just like hairdressers, they're always like afraid to go in. I always have to like no, do it, because like it may look like really thin and stringy.
I would just show them the most extreme haircut and be like, do this, and then they like cut your hair like a trim, and you're like, okay.
No, but then I'll also like with like long hair, you have to like be careful because sometimes you'll be like, oh, this, and then they do too much. Like I have had too much done to my hair before, but it always grows out.
Mm-hmm.
I've had too much happen, but like very rarely, and it always grows out well. Or it used to. Now I feel like it's not. I don't know what's going on with it.
I wonder how hard it is. Like, what kind of money are these hairdressers making? Maybe I can cut hair.
I know some hairdressers making over 100K. Yeah,
it's not bad.
It's not bad.
They could take days off.
I was just thinking. I was like, maybe I should go to beauty school.
It'd be kind of fun.
It'd be kind of fun.
Like it's like you get to talk, test out your bits.
Test out my bits.
Test out your bits.
Don't laugh, please. I'm cutting your hair.
Oh yeah, true.
They can laugh. It's
can
part of
laugh.
the haircut. I need there to laugh, and that's how the razor
That's how they
kind of
get
bounces.
the different
Yeah,
kind
that's
of,
the different haircut that I do. I was thinking like
brings a unique-
esthetician, like skin stuff actually, because I really love everything skin.
That'd be cool.
That's one of my hyper interests.
Hyped
interests. But yeah, I feel like they're making a lot of money right now.
What are your thoughts on like? I know you're like into like skincare in terms of like topical kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? Any support around any like cosmetic surgery, Botox type in things? Are there anything?
I think Botox is fine.
Is there anything that you're like, oh, I'd be interested in that, even though it's like obviously there's a cost
for myself or for doing it to other people?
For yourself.
Oh yeah. I feel like there's something called like PRP.
What's that?
I think it's like something where they like take your own blood.
Whoa.
And
she's been deep.
I think that's what it is.
Because I was like thinking
and
they do a Botox injection.
They like spin it and they get out like the right cells or something. They like I forgot what they do. I think this is what maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. And then they use that and then they inject that back into like your face, and it's like supposed to like basically like rejuvenated and whatever else like that, and like lasers I think are a big thing. I have like a lot of since getting like I have like a new birth control, so my hormones went crazy and now I'm getting like hormonal acne, which I've never had before. And hormonal acne leaves behind like spots, right?
Oh yeah, and scars and
scars. And so I was like, I would love to get something for that, like a laser treatment or something that they would think would be good. Honestly, going to an esthetician and just getting them to like poke and like get out gunk, because I feel like I have like bumps that like
clean the layer basically.
Like just clean out a layer, because I feel like I have stuff that's like under my skin that I've had for a while, and this happened when I first moved to Chicago. I got like my acne got much worse.
So these aren't like full this isn't like surgery.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
I wouldn't get filler.
It's like a treatment.
Yeah, a treatment. Yeah, I wouldn't do filler only because it's like hydroponic so it like absorbs water, so it gets bigger as it sits there, and that's why a lot of people get filler dissolved, but it's really difficult to get it all dissolved. So that's why like you'll see someone get like pillow face and it's like slowly absorbing water. So it gets like bigger and bigger. So even if they're not getting more, and it can also migrate. So they've seen it like where like they're doing scans and it's like in your brain and like around your skull and stuff.
Oh my God.
So it's like I think filler is going to be one of those things where like maybe people overdid it a little bit.
I wonder, is there like a natural filler, the way that you could do like an augmentation with your own fat? Like people put their own fat in their butt or something like that.
I think they probably do that.
Yeah.
They probably do that. They probably just take like fat from
now the fat's like traveling into your brain.
Fat's just like, just get a fat head.
Yeah, exactly.
Got a real fat head.
See, if all my fat was in my head, I'd be making bank off these looks.
OnlyFans for her head. Yeah. OnlyFans for this giant head, yo. What that head do?
It's just like
nothing. It's
I
just
know
like
you didn't see the
bubbly
substance, but it's just like the substance where she turns into this like monstrous creature.
Yeah,
but like
she would have
people are on OnlyFans just so they can see it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
People would pay money to be
people
like.
Would definitely pay money.
Like
for that.
What happened here? Like this is just a medical like phenomenon.
Yes,
is what they would pay for.
Yeah.
Also, there'd be a lot of legal trouble for that. Company. Come on.
Oh
yeah. Come on. This lady has money. There's a lawyer that's willing to represent her.
Absolutely.
And destroy them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
does she die at the end? No.
Yeah.
She does. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why. She would have sued. Has she not died?
I feel like I don't know. Is there like so? Michael Jackson died. Did somebody sue on his behalf? You know, because like medical like fraud or something, or like something like where it's
I
like
think the doctor was taken to court, but I don't know. By
but who? Right?
I don't know
it's
if
like
the state did.
The family or the state, something like that. But I'm like somebody. He died, but like somebody was still like somebody needs to be held accountable for this.
Yeah, for like overdosing.
Yeah, because like you can't. You could do that to a regular person, but like you can't do that to like someone.
You can't do that to someone
like there's basically there's money to be made in defending that case.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
And I'm sure there was. Yeah,
so
I don't know actually enough about
that's
it.
Where I'm like in the substance, they kind of go after people that I would assume have a lot of money. She's like an actress or something that starts using this thing. That
I mean, I wonder if later on, if any of the filler migrates and it migrates in a way that is dangerous to people.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to happen. If they're going to be like, but I think it would be something like a class action lawsuit that would just be like obliterate, so like everyone would get like
penny
$100 or something. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Penny.
It would just like, here's a penny. Sorry for all the cancer from the filler and whatever else. But yeah, I would do some. I wouldn't do anything.
Then it'd be like filler's a pre-existing condition, so we can't cover it.
Yeah, sorry, that was pre-existing filler.
What if the filler's the one that pulled the trigger for Luigi?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't do it, but he had filler, and the filler like went in his finger and like did it for him.
Wow.
Filler had his own mind.
And the filler's like kind of like Flubber.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the filler's like dancing inside.
Yes. But it's like an evil.
Yeah,
like
it's an evil
anti-corporation.
Yeah, is that evil though?
No.
Or is that just a good flubber?
Oh,
good
like,
flubber.
What movie we watched? Carry On, where the guy.
Yeah, we watched this movie Carry On.
It's a very. It's like a fun to make fun of kind of movie while you're watching.
Yeah,
Like
it was honestly way more serious than I thought. Like that it was going to be. Like when I read like the description, I kind of thought it was going to be like, and this kind of like a movie where it's like this guy's just trying to get home, but then this guy keeps like, I thought it was going to be a little bit more. I don't know, like not Roadhouse, but like kind of like it's a serious thing, but like what are we gonna do? I heard the new
Roadhouses uphold some of the old Roadhouse
really?
stuff.
I need to watch it.
Which those movies, it's like they never do well, but I'm like, if it's fun to watch. I guess Twisters, the new one.
Fun
to watch.
I need to watch that one too.
Totally, kind of like insane. Doesn't make sense. Like this guy's like shooting fireworks into a tornado. It's like, I mean, that whole idea of chasing a tornado seems kind of stupid to me. Like,
insane to me, yeah.
And they're like, we're gonna test this thing, and then the whole drama around it is very silly. But I'm like here for it. I like movies where they're just trying to have fun with it.
A lot of movies too, like I feel like definitely they rely on like a hot scientist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like we love a hot paleontologist, Jurassic Park. Hot guy that meteorologist, that's Twister. Hot, guy that knows about volcanoes, that's Dante's Peak or something. I don't know. But it's all these like, what if the scientist was hot?
Then we care about the problem.
I feel like that was a bunch of 80s babies having power in cinema, or maybe 70s babies that they're like,
that was something.
We're gonna be hot now and cool.
They're like, people are like, we need to bring back making fun of nerds again because all the billionaires and stuff. And I'm like, actually, those are the people that came up in being bullied.
Yeah,
it's a lot of Gen X people.
A lot of Gen X people.
And that was bullying was like at its height.
Bullying was at its height. Yeah.
And then these people want revenge. So you've actually turned them really bad. You've turned them worse.
Yeah. Well, what you also need to do is you need to demonize being that wealthy. That needs to be. You need to bring back like a Scrooge kind of thing.
Nobody's a good person anymore.
Yeah. Or if you go back whatever 100 years, whatever, into like newspapers, like the newspapers, the way they would depict like rich people. Fantastic. Really? All of them are like super like, and not there's nothing wrong with being fat, but they would be like gross and like just like disgusting.
Yeah,
like the way they're drawn. Yeah, gluttonous. Like where you're just like, I mean, you can be a beautiful fat person, but like these people, the way they were drawn is just like, oh, they're even if they were thin, they would be like bony thin. They'd be greed is just like taking over their bodies.
Now they would obviously they would probably portray them as like not fat or anything. They would portray them as like probably fillers and looking fake or something. I think, or being really like distinct.
Yeah.
I think that would be a thing they would do.
I mean, the worst thing they do is like their actions, right? There's nothing wrong with like their bodies or anything, except maybe Musk. Because something's going on with that chest. I have no idea what's going on.
There's probably a little robot inside there.
There's probably a little robot inside, and it just opens up and.
I think he's like a head, and he's like a tiny little creature that's driving the Musk body. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
that I think, that like, I forgot what I was gonna say. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, just
rich people in
newspapers. We need to like show them as like grosser, or you shouldn't want to be one. Like you don't want to grow up to be that. That's a bad thing.
Yeah,
like that should be.
I think now I'm like, I just am curious, like when people go home for the holidays and they watch like Christmas Vacation or
Scrooge.
Christmas Carol, like
Yeah.
rich people are deemed as bad. I'm like, how are anyone
How do you
watching this and being,
rationalize
like,
this?
how is this making sense? Like in your mind, like I didn't get my
Well,
bonus
no,
for
they're
my
a mean
pool.
rich
It's like,
person.
Yeah.
I work for nice rich people.
yeah, but it's like, oh yeah, that's how they do it in their head. Like my guy's nice. They gave us
He
Christmas
gave me
off,
Christmas Eve off. Yeah. So
but I'm
he's a
still
good
on
guy.
call. They're like,
Yeah, exactly. You're like-
Okay. I got
Yeah.
Christmas off. Like, all right, that's
Congratulations.
not really
Really
a
the bare
deal.
minimum. Yeah.
That's not the deal.
I heard that, I forgot which country it was, but one country, like they have like, I think it's like something like you have to take like 35 mandated days off. Like whether you're sick or not.
Probably in
Like you
Europe.
have to, yeah,
It's
it's
in
somewhere in
Europe,
Europe.
yeah.
It's some,
Gotta get that
yeah.
citizenship. Gotta get that backup plan.
We got to get
going.
out of here. We're leaving. We're leaving this place.
Just saying, we're gonna have a backup plan
We can do our podcast from there,
from Poland.
from Poland.
Yak
Live.
tam.
Yak tam. Yak tam. Hi, everybody.
Dojobre? I don't know how to say good morning.
Davidzenia? Is that it?
That was, I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll learn when we're there.
We'll learn when we're
I'll
there.
learn when I'm
We'll
there.
learn.
Very
Yeah.
American.
They love that when
Don't even know
Americans
what's
don't know the
happening over there.
language.
Yeah.
They love that. It's part of our charm.
Like, we probably won't even live in Poland anyway. It's probably live in
No.
Spain because I know more Spanish than
Oh yeah.
I know more Spanish than Polish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice, like, you visited Germany? People said that there's something called like a German stare. Did you see that people would just stare at you?
There's definitely something. I feel like I tried to mention this to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know about this," but there's a nod.
Oh yeah,
There's,
you
like
told me
you
about
walk
that.
into the bar, and they're like, make eye contact, and they like acknowledge that you came in. All the guys do. Yeah.
All the guys, not the women.
Yeah, the guys do. Yeah, the
Not-
guys. The
and not
guys
the ladies.
acknowledge women coming into a place.
Do the ladies acknowledge the ladies?
No, I didn't notice it with women doing it.
Weird.
I noticed it with men doing it. It's kind of weird, but kind of nice in some
Yeah.
ways. Because like,
I
mean,
guess it's kind of like a greeting here. Like, because
Yeah.
like, if you came into the bar or some bars, if they weren't busy enough, they would be like, "Hey, welcome in." Like,
yeah, I noticed it with men doing
weird.
it, and I think men might have done it for other men too.
yeah, probably.
They did it for us, but then again, my friend and I were like, when we were in Italy, we're like, do they even know we're women,
Or can they even tell here?
can they even tell? Because we're like too masculine looking
Yeah.
for what
For
that was.
Italy?
This was like a club that we were at because we got off the beaten path of where we
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
should
yeah.
be. Somehow wrangled. The place looked like a bunch of Kardashians, and we're like, can these people even tell that we're like,
Are we allowed to be here?
can they even tell I'm a lady?
No,
at all?
I don't think
and my
they-
friend's queer.
Or if that's what their
idea.
idea of like a
Yeah.
lady is, they're like, you don't even look like right.
Yeah. That's very
Yeah.
funny.
I was wondering because I know people said like there was something like Germans like stare at you, but I don't know if that's true or not. I don't think it's rude.
remember-
It's not like rude there. Like, I
don't
think it's like
remember
rude
that being
here
a
to like
thing. I just
stare at
remember the
people.
nod
Yeah.
when you walk into a place. People
Okay.
will give you a nod.
Nod.
It actually makes it very easy to start up a conversation because of that.
Yeah.
Weirdly, that somebody just acknowledges that you come into a space.
Yeah.
It's kind of friendly. It doesn't seem bad. It's just
Okay.
kind of like, hey, what's up? Like you came in the space.
Yeah.
You're new to here. Okay.
Welcome.
And then my friend and I got so excited by this because we're like, in Chicago, it's like no one would do that or
No.
acknowledge it. But people probably do notice when someone walks in, but it's like you're not pointing it out in any sort of way. And it was just kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think I would do it because I don't want to invite conversation.
Right.
Obviously, like if you lived in Chicago, if I lived, yeah, I mean,
If you do it here,
if I lived in Chicago, if I was like at a bar and
Honestly-
a guy walked in and I was like that, I'm inviting that guy to come over and talk to me.
yes. Yeah, that's gonna be a
I don't
problem.
want.
Or if you did it, I think you might not get. I think it stands out because everyone's doing it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like if you and a friend are the only ones doing it, it probably just seems strange.
yeah. But if
Which-
everyone's doing it, then
if
it feels
everyone
like
at the bar
the
does it,
group
it's
is
like-
welcoming you, not
Yeah,
a
like,
single
what's up?
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll move there maybe.
Yeah.
We're
not
getting
bad.
off this boat.
When we were there too, we met people from Greece. People from Greece were really nice.
People from Greece are nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you, Greece. It is funny because if you,
Italian people do shoot their shot, like the guys there.
we're really forward.
Yeah, they're more forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
They're like, wow, like I feel like people are attracted to me here. Like
you're like, what?
even if you're not attracted to them, you're just like.
But then you're
wow.
also like, with that is also like, okay, but if I'm like on my way to work or something and you're like, people are constantly hitting on you, it can be probably annoying.
Oh,
I
yeah,
understand.
sure. Yeah. Just trying to live your life.
You're just like, I'm sorry.
And
I
at the
need to live
pace
my
there
life.
just felt slower. It's like way, way slower. It's
Way
like
slower.
all people are doing is like going to their job, like at a restaurant, and then like hanging out.
Hell yeah.
I thought about that today. I was like, oh, it would be so nice to just like,
Hang
because my
out.
friend was like working at a restaurant. She's like, oh, you can come say hi here. And I'm like, I can't have people come to my job and say hi.
No, you can't. No.
That kind of sucks.
That does suck.
I want my friend to come over and say my job.
Yeah.
And just hang out
Yeah.
and talk. I'm like, I don't have time to talk with anybody.
No.
I don't have time
No.
to talk to people at work.
I feel like that like would be like an old like a thing like back in the day when we were kids. It'd be like bring your kid to work day. I don't think you could do that. Like I mean, obviously my mom couldn't do that because she worked in a hospital, so they wouldn't want like a bunch of hospital workers with children with them. But like I just think like where my dad worked at like
GM.
at GM, it was like enough of a slower pace where people could kind of, if you had a kid, kind of pal around with you. I guess you
Yeah.
could take them through the office, but you'd be like, I'm sorry, I have so much stuff to do right now.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right?
couldn't.
Yeah,
It'd
you
be, like,
couldn't. No.
Too busy.
No, you'd be too busy. Yeah. You'd be like,
It'd
I
be
can't.
like, why am I here? Also, it'd be like, if I have downtime, why am I here?
Yes.
Like, if I have so much downtime that I have time to like interact with
I
the
don't want to
child,
be here. Yeah.
then we should just leave.
Right. And get out of here. You know what's
we shouldn't be
great? Better
here.
than work? Not
being at
work.
work.
The best thing is not
Yeah.
being at work.
There's also like not that much to show because most of my stuff's on a computer, so it's like I'll just show you my
Yeah.
computer if you really want to see my work.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you want to see a computer? I'll just show you my stuff. This is what we do. And I guess maybe seeing a hotel that you make.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
But that's
If
like
you
going
ever
to the
look.
hotel.
That's going to the hotel, yeah, for sure.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Anything else? But are we?
I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're wrapped. Okay, thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Thank you.
You guys
for
are the real
listening.
heroes.
You're the real heroes, unless we find out you're problematic. I'm not really attached to it,
Yeah, she's not attached to you.
but I still think
This is
you're a
not a cult,
hero.
but
I
you're
can
also
hold
a
two
hero.
truths at once.
Yep.
DBT.
Yeah. Okay, bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for listening to our nonsense. If you like it, follow Checker Podski on all the platforms. And if you want to support Caitlin's stand-up, and I know you do, follow her at Caitlin Check. And if you're trying to air out some family secrets or, you have some grievances you want to just share, feel free to reach out at checkerpodski@gmail.com. Shout out Mike Knight, our producer, and Alex Oliver, who made our awesome jingle. Bye.